Okay. So.
Zippity doo dah. Zippity doo.
I said this was gonna happen in June. It's June.
Wait, you said that?
And apparently I did.
Yeah, you said we're gonna go on a break and we won't be back until June.
Till June. It's June.
Yo, we took that long of a break?
Yep.
Holy shit. We took that long.
And now we here. Y'all asked for this.
That's how much you were fucked up.
Don't say I didn't warn you. What is going on, y'all? It is the Ryder Brothers. Master Sakurai. Urban Ninja in the back. Master Zen at the side. Special guest person right beside here.
EXE, Gregor, Twitch name. I don't even be using it.
Oh, man.
He might as well plug it in.
Who's right now trying to cope with the fact that what we just told him and has been transpired in the past few months. Dealing with the one thing that's given us headaches, made us cry. Well, me cry. Go in the corner and question my life.
I didn't cry.
No, because I literally went in the corner and questioned my life at this one part.
Your face was blood red.
My face, I think a blood vessel popped in my head.
From your head to like your mid chest was just like red as fuck.
It was just red, yo. It was just
no!
as a cherry.
Like you were that fucked up, bro. It's crazy.
The last series made me question my love for Power Rangers. That's how bad it was.
Dang.
So I'll tell you all this right now. All of y'all said this was better, and that this was the thing. This was the series that was gonna fix all the other problems and whatnot. It better have.
We should hope so.
Because if it don't, and it's what I thought it was,
he's going back in the corner.
I'm going back in that corner. Because it's already bad enough that I saw the opening and saw that E.T. lookalike being the headmaster of all this shit.
Wait, you said E.T., right?
Yeah, the mentor of this one looks like E.T.
Look like E.T.'s grandfather / cousin.
Yup. Where's that blanket at? I can see it now.
Somebody called me a meanie in the comments when I did the opening, the reaction to the opening music. I was like, okay, whatever.
A meanie? Jeez.
I am a meanie.
Tough break.
Tough break.
My head off kilter. What the hell's wrong with my head?
All right, well, let's do this shit. This is part 1.
And we're only doing part 1.
We're only doing part 1. We just got to wait till next week. Shit.
Yes. Wait.
Petroglyphs. It's a prehistoric form of writing.
Yes, I write my story.
Third act need work. Hate cliche of couple breaking up at this point. Welcome, my friends, to Power Rangers Dino Charge.
Oh yeah, the Blue Ranger is a caveman.
Say what?
The Blue Ranger
Power
is a
Rangers
caveman.
metaphor.
A literal caveman.
A sloppy, brainless, pathetic attempt to cash in on nostalgic imagery without any understanding of the significance of that
It's funny
imagery.
'cause
The
I see
characters
the
were so
actor
bland that even the
Blue Ranger
actors were
actor
demanding
He's
something,
actually a really good guy.
anything better than
And
what
he
they were
has,
getting.
his
What
work
little
is
creativity
actually
there
amazing.
was stomped down by sheer incompetence, with scripts that lacked tension, impact, or heart. As a series on its own, it was dry and uninteresting. As an anniversary celebrating 20 years of the franchise, it was nothing short of a farce. Facepalm-worthy at best and maddeningly frustrating at worst. As you may have guessed from the almost 3 hours I spent ranting about it, I did not think very highly of it. But of course it did not kill the show, and the ratings were only marginally worse than Samurai, so another season was greenlit. As mentioned last time, one longtime producer, Jonathan Zacher, was out. The franchise returned to the well with Judd Chip Lin. As a reminder, Judd Lin basically wrote the book on how to make a Power Ranger season, being the head writer from the middle of Turbo through Time Force, returning for Jungle Fury, the end of RPM, and now again for this season. Some of the things I speculated about Samurai and Megaforce were confirmed in an interview with writer and editor James W. Bates for Den of Geek. Samurai was indeed a rush job, partially as a result of Zacher being convinced that Shinkenger was a great show and shouldn't be changed too much, and the production fell behind schedule as a result of that decision. Hell, the story editor for the show before Bates came on was a translator. Remember my criticisms about the Rangers basically being recruited into a life where they had no real lives outside of it? Well, apparently it was almost
That's
even
what I'm trying to
worse.
figure out.
Zacher wanted the team almost completely sequestered in the Shiba house, and a story where the kids would be playing a video game console in the place was met with shock and horror by him. As for Megaforce, the writers were in agreement that Ghost Ager wasn't as interesting as Gokaiger, especially since they wanted to do the anniversary stuff, but they were under orders to combine the two shows. Bates had plans to flesh out the characters more, since they couldn't just straight up transplant the Ghost Ager stuff into Megaforce, and immediately Zacher basically told him, no, we're not interested in character backstory or development, and even some parts of the creative team were just on board with translating Sentai plots instead of making new stuff. There were apparently a lot of plans for Troy as some kind of chosen one, a magnet that attracted Ghost to him, and the other 4 Rangers would be recruited as a result.
that shit again.
The writers talked about a lot of stuff with him.
Wait, go back?
including the idea that he may have been plugged into the
Son of a bitch! Jonathan was right!
Wait,
listen.
The Ghost Ager stuff into Megaforce, and immediately Zacher basically told him, no, we're not interested in character backstory or development, and even some parts of the creative team were just on board with translating Sentai plots instead of making new stuff. There were apparently a lot of plans for Troy as some kind of chosen one, a magnet that attracted Gosei to him, and the other 4 Rangers would be recruited as a result of that. The writers talked about a lot of stuff in regards to him, including the idea that he may have been plugged into the morphing grid, which, while I'm not a fan of chosen one narratives, at least the writers remembered the grid existed. His little Super Saiyan blast was supposed to be...
Oh, that was corny.
Hold on, stop. I'm trying.
Super Saiyan blast was supposed to be connected to that. Then he got special powers, and Robo Knight would in turn be tied into that as well.
What? So apparently, he was allegedly supposed to be connected to the morphing grid.
A chosen one, like I said.
And Gosei Knight was supposed to be the same thing. So you're telling that they both were supposed to be tapped into the morphing grid, and I guess Gosei Knight...
The Knight.
I refuse to call him Robo Knight. I refuse. I don't care. Okay. I refuse to call him Robo Knight.
Okay, then Knight was supposed to be
That's worse, Jonathan. Just say Gosei Knight. Just say Gosei Knight.
You're making Joe turn red.
He's red again. Oh God, I feel it. I fucking feel it.
But that is absolutely the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
So I guess Gosei Knight was supposed to be a battleizer if it came down to it, since he's connected to.
Well, better than in
the battleizer was the gold dragon faces.
Well, better than Robo Knight dying and coming back to life randomly with no context in between.
I still think that's why Robo Knight.
Oh, and that Super Saiyan moment was absolutely stupid.
So that was the morphing grid tapped into a person?
Yes.
So basically, the morphing grid is Goku then. Okay, got you. Continue. He's basically Goku.
Superfluous characters? In Ernie's case, just deliberate homage to the original, nothing major there. Mr. Burley, however, had originally been pitched, as I had suggested, an old Ranger coming back, with Bates apparently saying he specifically wanted David Yost back to play Billy. And
why didn't they just...
They couldn't do it.
But why didn't they just do that?
Oh, he went into the corner.
But that would have... It would have worked.
It really would. And he would have been, some kind of mentor to the Blue Ranger.
He's died over
This is
there.
only 7 minutes.
He's losing.
Is it really?
5, 7, 3 minutes.
No, this is 3 minutes and 24 seconds.
Only 3 minutes. He's in the corner already. He's actually dying over there. This is ridiculous.
This is the record, actually.
He's actually dying. He's actually dying. You did this.
I need my water.
I need my water.
The fans, you did this. You guys owe us a lot of money on
So
Patreon.
Billy was supposed to be a part of. Was that supposed to be the actual mentor?
And
Okay.
If it goes the way it was, he was supposed to be the mentor to the Blue Ranger.
He would have made him a much better Blue Ranger, let me tell you. Because the Blue Ranger is mega
Absolutely sucked. Okay. All right. Calm down, Joseph.
It's still red. Actually, like a burnt orange now.
Calm down. Shut up!
Just saying.
As a mentor to Noah. Storylines and pitches were made about the difficulties of
And we
being a
just said that,
teenager
too.
and a ranger. and Zacker rejected it constantly because it was too boring.
What?
Explains, in my mind at least, why there were so many action scenes shoved into the series. Bates eventually became so frustrated at not being able to do anything on the series with the teens, so little actual character, that he left shortly after Super Megaforce started.
Oh, I would left
say a lot more, and I really do suggest you look them up for more details. While it doesn't specifically confirm the idea that Zacker was fired over the failures of the 2 seasons, they do make clear that Saban had a different vision for the show than Zacker, and it was for the best that he was kicked out. Many have pointed out my statement from last time in regards to how Power Rangers was not allowed to skip a season by decree of Toei. The thing is that, as I've said multiple times before, I go by information I can find, and at the time at least, I recall some sort of official statement saying that they were not allowed to skip a Sentai season. If that isn't true, I apologize for the mistake. Although if that isn't the case, then that means they still screwed up by not just skipping Goseiger and get straight to the damn pirates. Otherwise, if it is true, then obviously the deal changed. That does happen, you know, especially when the next series, Go Busters, would have been a bit trickier to adapt since the Sentai outfits are a bit different than anything that had come before. Now, I know some of you are already saying, but Linkara, Go Busters had tributes to Power Rangers in it. The morphing call was, it's morphin' time, and they called their giant robots Megazords. Oh, well, that's nice. What else? Yeah, see, those are the only 2 things that people have told me about in regards to tributes to Power Rangers, assuming they were tributes at all and not just phrases they decided to use arbitrarily. Now, I've never watched Go Busters, so it's entirely possible that there were more, but perhaps the viability of an adaptation should not be measured by something that's just going to be dubbed over by the English actors anyway. Speaking of old writers, Amit Bhawmik apparently put together a fan pitch for adapting Go Busters, wherein he suggested that RPM was not an alternate universe like was in canon, but in fact Miranoi from Lost Galaxy, and that Go Busters would be a semi-sequel to it, with more robots, maybe some cameos from old Rangers, etc. It's an interesting thought, but hey, I'm fine with it being what it is. And plus, while I'm all for acknowledging the continuity, the simple fact is that something like that is really more for continuity porn people like me than for the younger audience, which is what Power Rangers is ultimately for.
But I would have loved that!
Yeah.
Well, for me, that's
I would have loved that!
But how can you just retcon something that was already out and just kind of rehash it into something else? That's kind of weird.
That's what Power Rangers is. They retcon it, then do something else. They always do that.
That idea, that's a little iffy to me. I don't know.
They always do that.
I can't get behind that. That's just me.
If you pay attention, they do that all the time.
They do that all the time.
Yeah, they do it all the time. That's why I'm like, shut the fuck up. Anyway, go ahead.
That would have been nice if not Go Busters, but Beast Morphers was on the planet Miranor instead of Earth. That would have been fine.
Okay, I can take that, but I would
have loved that.
To rehash it is like, nah, I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. So,
the people on Miranor, hell yeah.
They were because that's RPM, right? If I'm not mistaken. And they were like not cyborgs, but like humanoid robot things, right? Am I mistaken? So it would work, but just the retcon and send it back is kind of, you know.
As such, let's just get into what did happen with Dino Charge. The season begins with powers from the past. A small fighter is being pursued by a ship hauling asteroids behind it. Yeah, after the Moon 13 incident, Jonah really souped up his ship. We're introduced to our main villain, Sledge, as he forces a power cable back into place without regard to the danger of doing so in order to get his weapons back online. We're also introduced to his girlfriend, Poisandra.
So, that's the keeper creature that's stopping us from getting married? Oh, please, allow me to finish this.
Oh dude, bad idea. Never mix romance with the workplace, especially when you're her boss. The fighter is forced to crash on Earth, leading us into the theme song. And it's a damn good one. As I've said before, I love Go-Go Power Rangers, so I'd be happy if it was just always the theme song to the show. But of course, plenty of good theme tunes have come about since then, so I like how, much like with Zeo and Turbo, they just incorporate parts of the old theme into the new tune.
Yeah.
Probably helps that the characters aren't yelling their names during it anymore. fighter, this ET looking dude, is searching.
Oh,
for
no.
ET
Oh, no.
Comes
Oh,
across
no.
a T-Rex.
Oh no! Oh no!
Now I said what I felt before in the opening reaction.
That
I said what I said. The opening could have been better, and that's why.
that okay. Minus the herpes lit and and the big bulging Ninja Turtle eyes from Master Splinter.
And nigga, that is ET eyes right there.
That's E.T.'s grandpa.
Yeah, it really is.
It
ET was phoning home.
I could get behind it if his mouth wasn't so massive.
Does it move? I can't remember. Did it move?
Let's find out.
If it moved.
You no harm.
Slightly.
Gather the bravest among you. I need your help.
Bring to me 5 CGI dinosaurs with attitude. The
was
locates the inner gems and then plays dead as one of Sledge's minions, Fury, finds the ship.
That a
Before he
beeline?
can Keeper a killing blow, he spots the inner gem container and, like an idiot, doesn't bother to open up the box to make sure they're inside, instead bringing them up to the ship. We quickly see that Sledge's ship is carrying dozens, if not hundreds, of monsters. But it sells. He reveals that he's a bounty hunter, planning on getting rich before he marries Poisandra. Fury returns to the ship and presents him with the container.
The entire universe will
Coming this summer, E.T. 2. He's phoning home.
Hey yo! Wait a fucking second. What just happened? Yo!
Now I know why y'all wanted me to react to this.
Wait a second.
Yeah, now I know why.
Do that all over again, but in slow motion this time. It's a bomb!
Rich
What
before he
the?
marries Poisandra. Fury returns to the ship and presents him with the container.
The entire universe will
Coming this summer, E.T. 2. He's phoning home.
He's phoning home.
Form your next of kin.
Yo!
To the point where the asteroids he was hauling get loose and, well, considering we're in an age of dinosaurs, you see where this is
Stop saying
going.
that.
A theory early on was that one of these asteroids contained the Dino gems from back in Dino Thunder. After all, they had been said to have come from the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. But as we'll discover, that is probably not the case. In any event, Keeper meets up with a bunch of dinosaurs.
You are the mightiest creatures on the planet.
Now, screw you, Helicoprion and other giant prehistoric sea creatures. He presents the gems to the dinosaurs.
Their incredible power transcends space and time, good and evil. Your spirits will bond with them and keep them safe.
Let's just hope that there aren't any extinction level events coming. But really, what are the odds of that happening? Fury arrives and gets into a fight with Keeper, but they're interrupted by the asteroids crashing.
So let me get this straight. Because of the bomb, it goes off in his ship. An asteroid, because of the bomb and the impact.
His ship was literally towing asteroids behind it. And thanks to the
bomb, he just let go. And all the asteroids just went to Earth.
Yes.
So technically,
And one of those asteroids had the Dino Thunder.
So technically, it was E.T.'s grandpa's fault.
Then we have no more dinosaurs.
You bitch.
He's literally the pettiest person.
he's the reason why they're even on Earth, and they could have passed by Earth, or they would have come and taken Osama bin Laden
And killed his
He's
ghost.
a bounty hunter, right?
Nigga,
He's supposed to be.
1,000 years of the past, you dumb
Okay.
fuck.
Not just thousands, millions of years in the past. Osama bin Laden did not exist back then.
Oh,
Nigga.
I thought.
Why not even say nigga?
I thought this was a modern time.
No! It's prehistoric
We
time!
saw dinosaurs a few minutes ago.
Stop doing what you're doing. And a T-Rex was talking, yo. Come on.
And he was talking to a T-Rex and other dinosaurs. But continue.
Brian, what's going
Oh, I
on?
slapped
What's
his
wrong with your brain, yo?
Come on, man.
Play the video. Fuck it.
I love that
Yeah.
seamless CGI integration. I'm just laughing because Mike Nelson of Mystery Science Theater once said that he wanted to keep riffing on movies to the point where CGI dinosaurs were easy and common, and, well, here we are. We cut to the modern day in the city of Amber Beach. And yes, shock of all shocks, the city in this series has a name! We see a tour guide at a museum talking about the extinction event. One person on the tour, Tyler, makes a note of the fact that the bones were found at a nearby volcanic cave. We then meet Shelby, who's working as a waitress at the museum's cafe as she accidentally spills a roll into the soup of Dr. Kendall Morgan, the museum curator. Just to further prove how into her job she is, she delivers food to people who hadn't even ordered yet.
Didn't need to order because I read your minds.
What's sad is that after 20 plus years of this franchise, you can't ever be sure if someone is joking about that or not. Anyway, she follows after Chase, a janitor at the museum.
Hey, Sherry. You're bringing me a present?
Yeah, it's a knee in the crotch. And it's a gift that keeps on giving if you keep acting like a dude bro. Chase is going on a fossil hunt and Shelby wants to come along, although he's just interested in hitting on her. We also meet another custodian, Coda.
Man, I'm never gonna get to go. Hey!
Yeah, see, this is why it's so easy for me to believe that she has psychic powers. Kendall shows up and reiterates that indeed Shelby can't come along.
You can't come. Museum policy.
So what part of museum policy is it to take the guys who mop up the bathrooms on archaeological digs?
For your information, Chase and Coda are very highly trained museum personnel.
One does the bathroom and the other one's a caveman.
We're gonna find those fossils assembled into a crude bong, aren't we? Demonstrated some dinosaur know-how is rejected, but decides to stow away in their truck anyway. In the meantime, Tyler goes to explore the cave.
What the hell was that?
Oh, he's angry.
Yeah, and Andros is really kind of off his game. The figure chases him off until he discovers a partially uncovered T-Rex skeleton and one of the energems inside of the remains. Back over to Shelby, she gets ready to reveal herself to the others at the dig site, but she spots the cloaked figure grabbing a box from the back of the truck, laugh evilly, and then run off with it. She tries to get the attention of the others, but they can't hear her over the sounds of their equipment. She chases after the figure and manages to get the box away. She drops the box, but Tyler swoops in from friggin' nowhere to get it away from the cloaked figure. The figure removes its cloak, showing it's some kind of ice monster. Fortunately, Tyler's got this.
He's not due for like 30
episodes. Of course, the monster's potassium deficiency. It's one weakness. You monster, you haven't done your laundry yet. Wait a second, Tyler's not a Power Ranger, he's Shovel Knight.
Hey, yo.
Blasts away. Unfortunately, the last hit destroys the shovel, leaving them wide open to attack. The blast knocks them down, revealing that it contained the pink energem. Both start glowing, and touching them gives them a vision of the dinosaurs. And gives them guns! The energems go inside the guns, and spinning the barrels causes them to shoot. However, actually pulling the triggers...
What's happening?
I don't know. Look out!
What in the world?
What? They've become rangers!
They punch the monster away, but before they can do anything else, a T-Rex Zord shows up and storms through them, causing them to demorph. Man, if only Tommy was in this season so he could kick the thing. The Zord tosses the monster far away.
He did do that, though.
He
did.
Snowman. Then almost get trampled by a T-Rex.
And the worst part is that you're not even going to get overtime pay at the cafe. Shelby spots the others driving off, none the wiser for all of what happened. Tyler, though, has his own car, and we get some exposition to end the episode. Tyler's dad disappeared 10 years ago on an expedition, with the only clues to what happened to him being his journal. He describes a creature that chased him out of the cave from before. And the drawing looks a hell of a lot like Fury.
My dad used to say, helping is always the right thing to do.
Kinda screwed him over when he decided to help evil people. The second episode, Past, Present, and Fusion, picks up with a new character, Riley, who lives on a farm while being a skilled fencer.
Playing Three Musketeers again?
For the last time, you're never gonna be Oliver Platt. After his dog wanders off, he finds his pet about to be killed by Fury, truly showing off how evil our villains are. Riley's skilled, but he's attacking a monster with a small metal beam, so obviously he's not really doing much damage. Fury knocks the beam away until it hits a rock, conveniently smashing away part of it to reveal a fossilized dinosaur and the green energem.
Suddenly I have a refreshing mint flavor.
It also transforms the beam into a sword, which he uses to fight off Fury until he can escape. Wanting more information about the Energem and the vision of a dinosaur he saw when he touched it, Riley takes up a job at the museum for the summer, his brother fixing up a moped to get him there. And that brings him right on track to meet up with Shelby and Tyler, who stop to help him when it breaks down. What's more, this is apparently the most unsafe road in the country, as they soon come across more people in distress. An overturned car with a trapped man. They're at first unable to get the car off of him, but their respective energems glow and allow them to casually fling it into the air where it explodes. I guess vehicle safety regulations have gone down after cars keep getting stepped on by giant monsters and robots. On the plus side, they're much cheaper to buy.
But there was a myth
floating dock, Tyler inadvertently opened the secret entrance inside of a dinosaur head model, allowing them to enter the command cave. Inside, they find two more Dino gems, the blue and black ones, suspended in an alcove. Shelby holds hers up to it, where it is immediately pulled into it. The same happens to the others. Keeper shows up, who looks pretty good for a guy over 65 million years old, and gives them his backstory about giving the Energems to the dinosaurs. Kendall, Chase, and Coda come out and explain why the Energems attached to them. Tyler for him helping a stranger, Riley for his discipline and intelligence.
Shelby, why the pink Energem chose you is anyone's guess.
Oh yeah, she's a bitch the entire time.
Chase and Coda welcome them to the Power Rangers, but they know that they don't.
First of all, bitch, it chose me because I stopped getting a crate from some shadowy figures, so thank you.
Well, you're
welcome?
For her bravery.
Asshole.
I guess Pink is brave.
Damn. I just treating her like she ain't shit.
She does it the whole show, though.
Well,
I remember seeing clips of that. She does it through the whole show. She's trying to show the character that she can be somebody that can help her. But every moment and every turn, she's putting her down.
So basically, jealous.
Yes.
Only
not really,
five
but
of
she's
them.
got
There
she's
are
got
still
a
other
job.
five out there, and they have to be
scientist.
found. Their detection systems read unusual seismic activity, and the group wants to go investigate, though Shelby is reluctant. Kendall is a dick.
It's her decision, Keeper. She's right to be hesitant. Clearly, this mission is just too dangerous for a waitress.
You're one of
Wow!
those who leaves condescending notes instead of tipping, aren't you? But yeah, she confirms that while this is freaky geeky, she knows more about dinosaurs than any of them and wants to help. They grab their Energems and prepare to head out, but Tyler's won't recall back to him. There's something wrong with it, forcing him to remain behind while the others investigate, finding an active volcano that blows. But instead of releasing ash and lava and whatnot, it instead spews out a robot. The T-Rex Zord seen before.
When someone belongs to an Energem, their Zord is awakened.
So, did the T-Rex Zord just go into the volcano only to erupt again? Tyler and the Zord share the same dinosaur spirit that's contained in the Energem, probably part of the merging process when Keeper gave the gems to them. The equivalent of power coins or cards or whatever are the titular Dino Chargers, batteries that Kendall created that contain the power of the Energems that are placed inside of the Morphers and allow them to go into battle mode, aka, the suits. They need to be recharged inside of the alcove in the cave.
Get to morph again. Cool.
Yes, I suppose it is cool.
Oh, you kids today who are the same age as me and your hip-hop lingo. Tyler is able to pull his Energem free, although that makes you wonder why they need to pull out the gems if the Chargers are the things powering their tech. The ice monster from before comes out again and begins freezing parts of the city in the hopes of killing the Rangers and taking the Energems. Our introduced to the foot soldiers of the season, the Vivics, who have the distinctive feature of the weird mask/tentacle head things. Kind of makes them look Lovecraftian, as if their faces are too horrific to show. However, more interestingly is that the Vivics can merge together and become Vivizords, giant monstrous creatures. Tyler shows up to confront the monster.
It's morphin' time! Dino Charger, ready!
Hey, it's Mystery Voice from the Mystic Force Morphers.
Oh, that's kind of hard though.
It is a gun. And that is glorious. A unique design, it serves as the main weapon for the team, and it's activated by spinning the revolver section of it. The morphing sequence is fairly average. Dinosaur head pops out, bites down the Rangers, changes them into their suits. And yes, the suits themselves. I'm not that big a fan of them. The helmet is the best part, each one resembling their respective dinosaurs, much like the original Mighty Morphin ones, but the visor encompasses more of the face of the helmet, and the mouth guard is actually inside of it, except when they're inside of their Zords. However, I feel the main suit is a bit too busy. 2 different color tones for the respective Ranger color, a huge sash with the zigzag line, a dinosaur face symbol, a single shoulder pad that, when combined with the sash, makes the suit asymmetrical and just looks a bit too uneven for me. It's not terrible, but it feels a bit gaudy and over-designed. The Rangers defeat the Viveks, and really, how appropriate is it that their first monster is ice-themed?
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
The Rangers return to the command cave, Riley wanting to tell his
Actually, in a
family about all
Sentai,
this,
he's
but
not even
Kendall
due
tells
for like
them they have to
20-some
keep it a secret.
episodes.
It definitely makes sense this season. After all, you've got E.T. as your mentor. Of course the government's going to be a dick about it and try to take him. Keeper, however, is distressed about another matter. The monster that they fought was one of Sledge's prisoners, meaning he's returned, and is using the prisoners now as his fighting force, similar to how Rancic used the Time Force prisoners as his army. The 2 episodes are definitely a return to form for the show, especially after Megaforce tried its damnedest to use up all of its Sentai footage, no matter how much it hurt the story. It's particularly encouraging when Powers from the Past features no Sentai footage whatsoever, a first for the entirety of the show as far as I'm
Really?
Powers from the Past
Well, that's
is definitely
nice.
better than Past, Present, and
So
Fusion,
this one
which has
didn't
the
just
job
kind
of
of copy and
slowing
paste?
It wasn't copy and paste.
So it feels a bit
It's okay.
rushed.
I'll
Powers
take that.
allowed us to be introduced to several characters while getting their personalities down pretty quickly and moving at a good pace, building up some mysteries and setting up future character arcs. The acting is fairly solid by Power Rangers standard, just the usual awkwardness you come to expect in the first episodes as the actors get adjusted to their roles. It helps that everyone has personalities, of course. As with the past 2 series, each episode now begins with a recap of the premise, although there is this bit.
As for Sledge, he was blasted deep into space.
And how powerful was that bomb that sent him into deep space, but didn't destroy his ship? And yet it took Sledge 65 million years to get back? Back to the Rangers in the 3rd episode, Tyler gets a job as a busboy at the museum, Kendall continues to be a jerk to Shelby, and we learn some stuff about Koda, like why he lives in the command cave.
Koda found the blue energem 100,000 years ago, during the Pleistocene era. So, you mean Koda's a caveman?
Yeah, I found the energem pretty easily. Turns out it was in the dirt underneath some old guy's police box. Picked it up as soon as he moved it. As long as you're bonded to the energem, you stop aging. Definitely one reason why people would want them, although given how both Keeper and Sledge's forces have failed to age,
you stop
maybe not
aging.
that impressive a feat. Recognizing a crude cave drawing of Fury that Koda...
They really do stop aging. The Red Ranger's father also picked up one, and he stopped aging. And he's the same age as his son.
That is some shit.
Interesting.
Close to the same age as his son.
So nobody noticed that?
No,
Everybody else getting beards
and shit.
Back
No,
pains.
he went missing.
This nigga said back pain.
He went missing.
They feet aching.
Nigga, he went missing, so he's not gonna show up until like half the show.
Oh, another one of those. My dad's missing. Red Ranger tropes. Got it.
Salt and pepper hair.
Salt and pepper hair. Play that video.
Their gums retracting and shit, you know.
Gums retracting.
Stab him.
Koda was made, and getting confirmation from Riley, Tyler recognizes him as the same creature in his father's journal. An alert causes the Rangers to head out and meet Sledge himself, who can fly. Keeper shows up, and Sledge exposits that he managed to snag onto a comet with a tractor beam to ride it back to Earth. I'm guessing his engines were just too badly damaged.
I guess so.
The need to do that. And you think he'd just have gotten married to Poisandra in the meantime, if only out of sheer boredom. And after he warns Sledge that the Rangers will destroy him if he tries to take the energems, Keeper just leaves. Thanks, dude. You're a big help. Sledge attacks them while they morph, and we see he's a bit out of practice since he can't aim for crap. The Rangers fight,
they
but
didn't,
since
like,
they're so inexperienced, they get their asses kicked, though Sledge himself even gets in on the action. One of the earliest main villain fights in the show's history. Though it makes sense. Being a bounty hunter means he's more likely to go in and get his hands dirty and get the job done, as opposed to someone like Lord Zed. Sledge is a no-nonsense kind of villain, so his way of growing monsters is just a beam of energy from his ship. Interestingly, the Dino Charge Megazord is only made of the red, blue, and pink Zords. The other two Zords make up different formations, like adding different arms. One nice thing about that is that the other individual Zords get a little more activity than usual, providing minor assistance in tasks. Their individual weapons, combined weapons, etc. But unlike Megaforce, it feels natural as Kendall refines their powers and creates new ones. They're not just randomly unlocking stuff, they have a scientist who's actually working to upgrade their arsenal. The Rangers begin searching for the other Energems, with Shelby coming up with a scanning device called the E-Tracer to try to locate them, although it only works for one Energem at a time. The signature is non-specific, so they can't tell if they're detecting an Energem or a Zord, so when they head out, they discover the Ankylozord. However, as mentioned before, the Zords only become active when an Energem bonds to someone, and since the Ankylozord wakes up, it's clear that the Aqua Energem is now attached to someone. During a fight with Fury, Tyler's bracelet, which belonged to his father, comes loose, and Fury recognizes it, taunting Tyler by saying he's as weak as his father was.
Let me guess. His father is this motherfucker, isn't he?
No.
This
guy is actually another different Ranger.
Wait, him?
Yeah.
So how does he know his father?
He fought him.
He must be
His father was looking for dinosaur bones. He found the Energem while he showed up in the cave.
The tiger-looking dude, right?
Yeah.
So he must be he's not a Baragi guys. He must be different. The bird, Sentai, the bird nigga with the teeth and shit. I don't know.
If they even put him in here.
Probably did. No, they didn't.
His link is actually to the Gold Ranger.
Yeah, I know. That happened in the Sentai.
Yeah, so it's still similar.
He's the Gold. No, not Gold Ranger.
Fury is about to give more details about what happened, but is interrupted by the Rangers calling Tyler for help. He gets the upper hand on Tyler, about to kill him, but...
I hit the same fire twice, my guy.
When Jello attacks. Interestingly, Fury manages to painfully recover from whatever that is while screaming, "No, I'm in control." After Fury manages to get his hands on the E-Tracer, the Rangers are forced to destroy it, but I'm not exactly sure why they can't just rebuild the dang thing. And when logic fails, Sledge finally throws Fury off his ship, irritated by his constant failure, particularly this time in getting the E-Tracer destroyed. Plus, he managed to get his hands on the Dino Charger for the Gold Energem's Pterosaur Zord, but it's out of power. Whatever is inside of him, he uses it to help recharge it. He gets a hold of the Zord, Sledge re-inviting him back to the ship. The next episode of the Royal Rangers introduces us to a new exhibit at the museum, the Treasures of Xandar. According to legend, a young prince was being escorted through a forest by a knight named Sir Ivan. They stopped for some water, and Sir Ivan discovered what is known as the Stone of Xandar, some kind of shimmering rock. Fury unleashes the Pterosaur on Amber Beach, unveiling that it has its own Megazord mode. They're only able to defeat it because it runs out of power. By the way, I love how after all the jokes I made about Serpentera's AAA batteries, we now pretty much have a Zord actually running
on batteries.
As they're unpacking the exhibits, great job not wearing any protective gloves or anything like that while dealing with the priceless artifacts, guys. The Stone of Xandar starts glowing, as do their Energems. When the box containing it explodes open, the stone is revealed.
Stone of Xandar is...
You think Kendall would have seen a picture or something of it first when she decided to host the treasures? Fury is unable to fully recharge the Charger. The thing inside of him starting to block his attempts to drain it. They set a trap for Fury and get close to reclaiming the Charger, but once again the energy inside of Fury begins to escape. As Tyler stares at it, though...
Is it possible? Dad?
Fury once again gets it under control and escapes. The Rangers, realizing that it might be Tyler's father inside of him, decide that they can't destroy Fury until he's freed. The story continues in the next episode, Breakout.
Wait a minute. Okay, John, explain that.
They think it's his father, but it's not. It's actually the knight that found the stone.
Oh, got it. Now it makes sense. Got it.
You think it's his father, but it's not really.
Because I was gonna say it was his father too, but then I was like, nah, that's too
Daddy?
That's way too simple.
Yeah, that's too simple.
Some Dino Thunder type shit.
Yeah.
A little more of the story of Sir Ivan of Xandar, who after finding the gem was attacked by a monster in a fur coat. The prince was knocked unconscious, and when he came to, both Sir Ivan and the monster were gone, though he still had the Energem. Soon, the Prince of Xandar, Philip III, arrives to reclaim the treasures unexpectedly, apparently pissed off because the trap the Rangers had set for Fury in the previous episode involved them masquerading as him. Dude's a complete douchebag, insulting the Rangers before leaving with the Golden Energem. Fury's forces launch an attack on the Prince's convoy, though before Fury can take it, the Rangers arrive. Coda and the Prince are blasted away during the fight, and they make their escape, Fury in pursuit.
I am at a loss for words. After how I treated you, the insults. Why would you risk
Another
your
crazy
life
thing,
for me?
he's also a Ranger. He also become a Ranger.
Wow.
Figured.
Wow.
I'm just a kid.
Prince actually.
After Fury attacks again, he mentions that he's been after this for 800 years, claiming to be the monster that fought Sir Ivan. Fury gets the Energem before the Rangers chase him off, and they tell Philip to head back to the road. Instead, he follows them and watches them morph.
Power Rangers.
But the fact that he specifically identified them as Power Rangers, not just that they're the Power Rangers, but Power Rangers in general, in the back of your mind. It'll be kind of a thing later. They fight Fury and his forces, but the spirit inside of him finally manages to break free, revealing...
Dad!
No, not
You're not my dad?
You're not my dad? Damn. Well, fuck you too!
You're not my dad!
Yo. Dad, you're not my dad. Who are you? I'm your granddaddy. Holy shit, that's hilarious.
I'm mad he has his whole armor on.
Yeah, because when he was fighting, he was absorbed with his armor on. He was absorbed by that monster. The whole thing, his whole body.
It's like, your body is great. Give it to me.
He's like, I'm gonna need that.
I'm gonna need that.
He's like, run it.
Like, run that shit.
Just fucking.
He's like, I'm gonna need that. He's like, I'm gonna need that breastplate. He's like, I'm gonna need this whole. I need all that.
Unique morpher, the Gold Terra Morpher. The Gold Ranger outfit is essentially just a slightly upgraded version of the regular outfit, although with two shoulder pads,
why your shoulder pads gotta be better than everybody else's?
Because he's the Sixth Ranger.
No. The morphers being guns, the Terra Morpher.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm debating this. The Sixth Ranger, should always have soldier pads.
No.
Always.
Yeah, I agree with you. He is the Sixth Ranger. But there are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think, no, that's actually 10.
10 what?
10 Rangers.
Sixth Ranger's more detailed.
Hold on, in Dino charge, right?
Yeah. I told you, there's different Rangers. They even show you.
Because in the Sentai, the only other Rangers would. Oh, I forgot about Violet.
Yep.
Violet, Cyan.
In the Sentai version,
Silver,
there was the same. There was
there
the
was
same
like
number.
a darker blue one.
There was the same number.
There was 10. You're right.
Yeah.
I forgot about the purple one. That was my fault. So.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Violet, purple, whatever.
That Purple Ranger becomes a.
I know it becomes the bitch.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Wait, you better be humble by the end of it.
The one that hates
the Pink Ranger.
She becomes Violet.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason why I know that guy, I saw the clip.
Yeah. Go ahead. Continue.
Also acts as a little rapid-fire, wrist-mounted gun. Ivan kicks all of the evil force's asses and takes control of the Terrazord, unleashing its full power. In a later episode, we see that the Terrazord can also merge with their Megazord and give it wings, and in turn, the Terrazord can take on the other Zords as new arms like the main Megazord does. Once the monsters are defeated, Ivan surrenders the Energem to Prince Philip, saying he recognizes the royal bloodline. The Rangers and Ivan exchange backstories, with Ivan saying Fury captured him for 800 years and was only able to escape with the Energem's help, while the Rangers explain about the history of the Energems. Philip gives the Energem back to him and wishes the Rangers luck in finding the other Energems safely. The others invite Ivan to join the team, but since he's been cooped up for 800 years, he wants a chance to explore his freedom. And by that I mean the very next episode, he's hanging out with them in the command cave. Well, to be fair, it's just a stop-off. He said that any kind of pledge like that is taken for life, so joining the team isn't something he can do lightly. He finally comes around after a failed attempt to make his own group of knights only results in the other rangers coming to his rescue. Still, I think he gave up on these people too easily. Old Lady and Scooter could beat your ass with a purse. Well, at least after all the crap that's happened with Megaforce and the like, the show finally has its dignity again.
Yeah, you know what? I did see that too. He went around the city, saw these random people. It's like, you know what? You could be a part of my team.
He saw this old lady in a fucking hover round and was like, "Hey, yo, you can fight? Get up."
You see her beating the motherfuckers ass with a purse?
And the mugger.
She was beating the shit out of him. Dude, she was really digging in him.
I would have hired her too. Fuck it.
I would have hired her too.
Fuck, hey, you be a Power Ranger.
Hey, I'm in charge. I'll fight what I want to.
Truly, we are in a second golden age. Otherwise, though, the story continues in Rise of a Ranger, when a construction crew in Xandar locates an energem. It seems Prince Philip has been searching for them since then, wanting to use them to help his kingdom.
Energize.
But you're not chosen.
Soft.
You're weak!
Soft. Like baby ice cream.
Initiate.
Fury has been taken out of action by Sledge for several episodes, basically shoved into doing menial
Initiate powers.
Sledge gives him another chance after he saves Poisandra from a creature that's stuck in solitary confinement. During the fight with Fury, a robot belonging to Philip is sent in to aid them. And of course it gets its ass kicked.
A machine just can't react the way a human ranger can.
Yeah, isn't that right, Mac? Kidding aside, Philip has come to see Coda to try to figure out how the energems bond with a person.
Believe I have good heart.
Good heart.
Good heart.
Oh, how does one prove that to a gem?
Yeah, be related to this kid, and it's usually a good start. When Coda mentions that you need to be worthy, Philip goes on a charitable tour, donating money, which Xandar's currency is apparently American, fossils to the museum, and other stuff. He goes to the others and explains how he failed to get the energy to bond. Still, the thing is that he's legitimately noble and truly believes in helping them, so he decides to hand it over to them. However, Fury makes another attack. During the fight, Chase's little sister is pinned down, and Philip rushes in to save her, and that gets the Energem's attention, bonding with him and making him the Graphite Ranger.
That's the car I was thinking
Does that
about.
mean he's a pencil? His outfit is rather than the gold, with really the only difference being his sleeves are blue instead of another shade of gray. He's able to summon the Pachazord, which has a mace, or flail, tail on it. That also serves as a helmet for it. Weird. Unfortunately, because of his station, he can't stick around with the others, but he gives them the Dino Chargers to summon the Pachazord as they need it, promising to come should they call for his help. Later in the episode, The Ghostest with the Mostest, we get our first season requisite clip show, and it's a pretty damn clever one. It's Halloween, and Chase has lazily made the same costume for all the Rangers. Using a duplicating monster and a memory-stealing monster, one of the team is kidnapped, and a clone replaces them with all their memories intact. But since the costumes are all the same and their voices are muffled, the audience can't see who was the one replaced, and the team is asked questions by Kendall about past adventures to try to weed out the clone. In all honesty, it's kind of too good a premise for a clip show. I would have loved to see this acted out in a proper episode. You know, shades of The Thing, paranoia, mistrust, love that. Things properly continue in the episode World Famous in New Zealand, wherein Chase sees a New Zealand newspaper that has pictures of Sledge's transport pods traveling to the country. The Rangers head there, and it must have been so expensive to fly from New Zealand to New Zealand. In all seriousness, it's actually nice that they try to be budget conscious and take advantage of their surroundings like that to give the impression of going on a big international adventure. Mind you, the downside is that since the show is already filmed there, it's hard to get across that anything is different than normal. Otherwise, just name-dropping some New Zealand sites and whatnot. They meet up with the guy who took the photo of the ships, Albert Smith, hoping he can provide some info about what Sledge was looking for. Dude's a Bigfoot hunter, and combined with Mr. Burley from last season, I have to wonder if somebody on the writing staff is into cryptozoology. However, more importantly is that they spot a bike thief stopped by the Purple Ranger. Something's off about him though, since while he's happy to stop the bike thief, he runs off in terror from a monster and the Vivix. However, once that's dealt with, it's revealed to be Albert. After showing off
I was getting ready to say, because look, in the Sentai,
they still kept
the old man that made the sounds of the Morpher was a Power Ranger.
But he was actually Violet Ranger's grandfather.
Yeah.
And he was the former Ranger. And he like broke his back.
Yeah, he threw out his back trying to be all cool and shit.
And then
he threw out his back.
And then like in the beginning, the ice monster was the ice monster was how what you call it got the violent power, and because she was all scared and freezing shit, and then morphing. So. I'm glad they kept that from the Sentai. That's
what I'm saying. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
Like that whole little older guys, Violet. Yeah, I like that. That was nice.
During a freak snowstorm, the daughter of family friends ended up getting stranded on a mountain. He rescued her, but in a crevice near her, he found the purple Energem. He's been using a police scanner to help stop local crime, but this is all a little much for him. After all,
so he does what your theory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it can't be done, Jonathan. You owe him money.
Damn.
You do?
I do.
No, because she was trying to tell him that it's impossible for you to be a Power Ranger and do basic crimes.
Both you niggas owe me money then. Fuck that. I want my pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, because his story was like if he ever had powers, he would go around and do basic crimes. You said that's impossible because they're Power Rangers.
This nigga just gave me a penny. Hey, yo! I'm gonna keep it too. Fuck that.
Well, it's a far cry from stopping petty crime to fighting something that is actively trying to kill you. And likely can. Tyler encourages him, though, reminding him that the Energems don't make mistakes, and he did still rescue the little girl. With Tyler's help, he's able to find his courage and assist, but he realizes he can't stay a Ranger. He wants to remain in New Zealand since it's his home.
Plenty of other people can be a Ranger, but nobody here can replace me.
A bit of a shame, since having an old guy as a Ranger would be something fairly unique, but still he did fine on his own. Keeper is able to sever Albert's bond to the Energem so he can give it to someone prettier. Regardless of Albert giving up, the activation of the Energem means that its Zord, the Plesiozord, has been activated. After an episode, they encounter it, and naturally a Zord based on a Plesiosaur is, a jet. I don't know why I'm ever surprised anymore. Still, with something like that, naturally, it's also a Megazord. Nothing too interesting there, other than it having rockets.
Now that
they have the purple Energem and the Plesiozord, they need to find a Ranger for it. They stage a fake accident multiple times to try to find someone who is willing to rescue Kendall, although it doesn't go well.
A hero shouldn't go unappreciated, right? How about $3, for saving your life and all?
Hey, yo!
Gold has really hit on hard times. Fury learns that they're searching for a Ranger and tells Sledge about it. Sledge figuring that they need to use someone who couldn't be mistaken for a monster. His choice? The being in his jail's solitary confinement, named Heckle.
He's not that dangerous.
But I know of several destroyed galaxies that might beg to differ.
We've all destroyed galaxies.
Yeah, but he did it to create a parking space. And he didn't even park there. He just parked on a neighboring galaxy and destroyed that one, too. Heckle looks like a human, though, so Sledge thinks he can fool them into giving him the Energem. He offers his freedom for his help.
Set me free. Huh. Good idea.
You monster! Those guys were
strong
a day
as
away
shit.
from retiring.
You like that?
Yup, it's
What?
strong
Sledge
as
is a really
shit.
good employee compensation package. Why do you think anybody works for him? Heckle has a counter-offer for Sledge.
I get you the purple Energem, and we're partners. We rule the universe together.
Careful trying to negotiate with creatures more powerful than you, Sledge. Just ask Necroli back there. Sledge refuses at first, but when Heckle demonstrates his ability to open all the cells of his ship simultaneously, Sledge reluctantly agrees. The monster of the day involves granting wishes that go badly, so when Kendall wishes for a Purple Ranger, Heckle steps in and saves her. Before she can give it to him to test, though, the monster of the day interferes, not aware of the plan with Heckle. However, Fury in turn steps in and gets the Energem from him. The purple Energem is used to power a weapon for Sledge. Heckle tries to cash in on the deal, but Sledge says it was Fury who got it for him, so deal's off. The two have a little beam struggle with each other, with Heckle shown as being fairly powerful in his own right, but the blast still knocks him back into solitary confinement.
Oh, damn!
Wow.
Okay.
Literally just got out.
Get the
That was so disheartening.
Poor Heckle.
Literally just
That
got
was
out.
so... that hurt.
Okay, so he's not as strong as a Dino Gem.
Yeah. He's not.
But he's strong as fuck. He's still.
That hurt.
Sledge will come to Earth to try to attack them, so they need to go to the one place Sledge won't expect them to be, his ship. Leading us into the finale for the first season, one more Energem. Kendall invents a device to grab the purple Energem from Sledge's ship. So, not so much they'll be getting into it, but a little robot will. Still, it makes sense. They don't want Sledge wreaking havoc while they're up and cozy on his ship. That being said, they realize how dangerous he is now with the purple Energem, so they call on Philip to help them fight Sledge off. They slip the robot into one of Sledge's transport pods to be sent back to his ship, while Keeper comes to actively assist the Rangers against Sledge. He gets his ass kicked and is taken by Sledge, but when Kendall sees that, she stows away on the pod. Sledge also manages to get away with Tyler's gem before he's forced off. Fortunately, Tyler doesn't need his gem to summon his Zord, so he gives them that so they can fight a monster Sledge sends down. In the meantime, he and Shelby take the Plesio Zord up to Sledge's ship to help Kendall. Kendall, no, this is not a good time for your Artie cosplay. Anyway, she manages to get a hold of the purple Energem. The Plesio Zord arrives in orbit.
Let's hope they don't see us.
Tyler, do you think spaceships have a blind spot? Kendall is found out and led to an incinerator along with Keeper. However, she manages to grab hold of some corrosive liquid and escape with Keeper. She tries to fight off some of Sledge's minions, resulting in the purple Energem choosing her and causing her to morph into the Purple Ranger. Tyler and Shelby meet up and make their escape, but Tyler overhears their plans to use the red Energem to power his monster-growing laser into a full-fledged laser cannon capable of destroying the Megazord. Tyler separates from the others to retrieve the gem, storming the bridge. Sledge tries to activate the laser, but the robot that was dispatched manages to get the gem away and back to Tyler. He knocks Sledge into the navigation console, breaking the ship's orbit and plummeting it down to Earth. With all the other transport pods gone, Tyler has no other choice but to leap out a hatch while Sledge's ship crashes into the side of a hill. Fortunately for Tyler, he's caught by the Terrazord. With all 8 Rangers reunited, they form a new Megazord combination and destroy Sledge's monster. With the threat of Sledge gone, Kendall, Ivan, and Koda elect to remain to look for the remaining 2 Energems with Keeper, while the other Rangers are free to go back to their normal lives. They're of course still bound to the Energems, so if there's trouble, they'll know and can come to help. Tyler and Shelby decide to go off and resume their hunt for his dad. Riley also comes along to go back to his farm since it's on the way. So hey, short series, but you know, everything is mostly wrapped up nicely. Nothing to worry about here.
It's my turn now.
Oh wow.
Was that Heckle?
Yeah, that's Heckle. His character's basically supposed to be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's actually a human and a monster.
Yeah. He had a split personality shit.
See, I could kind of tell by the way he came out of that cell and was just like, yeah, okay. But he said something to himself and then was like talking in like first and second person, third person. But
well, you guys, this was the start of what y'all was asking for. Next week will be part 2, and I'm not gonna lie.
Not bad so far.
It's not bad. It's not bad. You guys were right. It's not as terrible. Only the reason why I went in the corner was because it was about the other series.
Yeah.
But this, it's not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
And until then,
it has been the Ryder Brothers, Master of Sakurai.
With that special guest.
Who sleep?
I did take a little bit nap. That pizza got you, boy.
Don't worry, we've all been there.
We've all been there. Wait, look, you ain't the only one. All right, you ain't the only one. We will see y'all again next time. Part 2.
Part 2.
See what's gonna happen in that one. We're out of here.
Peace.
Peace.